Alright, this is just a quick video explaining Voronoi diagrams. I think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe I should... Voronoi diagram. Doesn't say how to pronounce it. But yeah, we're making these. Voronoi diagrams. I'm going to call it Voronoi. What are they? They're a way to represent spatial things. So like if I am anywhere in this region that I've drawn out over here, the closest thing to me is point D. If I'm anywhere in this region, the closest thing to me is point A, B, C, etc. And you'll notice with GeoGebra, you can actually drag these points around and this diagram will change with it depending on what point is closest, and it creates equal spacing. This is really useful for maps as the bird flies, maybe not so much if you're driving on specific roads, just to say what thing is closest to the other. So my project that I have come up for you guys is you're going to choose something, some location, and you need at least 7 or more of these. The more the merrier, because the more will make this look really cool. I'm going to choose mountains because it's the first thing that popped up for the map, which is really easy for me to do. You could choose lakes, friends' houses, national parks, U.S. capitals, gas stations, like literally anything that you can find 7 or more locations that you're interested in how they're spaced out, which one is closest. That is a good thing for you. Notice I have random stars on here. Ignore that. I'm going to look at all these mountains. So how do you set up this this project? First, you need to get a map. Luckily, I'm already there. So if you need to make a map, though, if you go to maps.google.com, and I think if you have to be signed in, but if you come over here to the menu, again, I clicked on these 3 hamburger things. If you come down to your places, you can create a new map. So if you go to maps, you can create a map down here in the bottom left, and you can create a map of something that is interesting to you, and you can have a lot of things. Like if I want to add Vining High School, I can't spell Vining, what is going on? Vining High School, that's embarrassing. You click add a map, and then it's on the map, and if you X out of it, you zoom out, that is now this little I don't know, icon is on your map permanently, so you can make your map that way and then take a screenshot. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of this over here. Let's get rid of those tabs. So Command Shift 4 on my Mac, and just kind of drag over everything that has the peaks. Notice it saves over here. Let's go ahead and hide all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, so many things open. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Don't look at my emails. Okay, X. Okay, so that's the screenshot that I just took right here. If I double click on it, cool, looks like a great screenshot. I'll go ahead and rename this, I don't know, mountains. Mountains, cool. So come back over to Chrome, go to a new tab, geogebra.org, start calculator, and the first thing that we want to do is hide all the stuff in the background. So unclick show axes, show grid, no grid. We want to insert a picture, so go to Tools, there's the image under Media. I'm going to choose a file, go to my desktop where it's saved, and Mountains. So I click Open, and it looks good, hit OK. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that this picture doesn't accidentally get moved around by clicking and dragging on A. So the way that I do that is I right-click on it, and I fix object, right-click, and fix object. Also, if you just want to hide it, you can come over here to the... I think you have to do more. This is the quicker way of hiding things. You can right click and hide things as well, but if you go over here, now that I've clicked on more, show hide object and show hide. So those are both hidden. Come back to my move tool, and there we have it. Notice that when I click on the map, I'm not allowed to drag it around, but if I click out here in the white space, I can. That changes if you click on the move graphics view. Now you can click on the map and drag it around. So the move graphics is going to be super helpful while you're zoomed into your map here. So the general idea for how to solve this problem creating a Voronoi diagram is you want to create points on each of these peaks, and again, it's just approximate. I'm just doing it really quickly here. So those looks good, and I could add other random points too if you wanted. But everything is a perpendicular bisector. So I, in class, will quiz you, can you actually make a perpendicular bisector? I will do one construction for you so you know that I know how to do it. First, I'll make a line. What is my perpendicular bisector? Can I do a perpendicular bisector between C and D? Well, I hope so. Let's see. I'm going to come down here to my compass tool between C and D, put around C, copy that around D, and if I make a line through these 2 intersections, let me zoom out here to there, and there. There's my perpendicular bisector. But after I show that, you don't have to keep doing that over and over, because this is going to be really messy even with all these perpendicular bisectors. So the quicker way of doing that is, instead of clicking on anything after you make your points, just use the perpendicular bisector tool. So when I click on that tool, click on C and D, there doesn't even need to be a line in between them. I can make the perpendicular bisector. But you do need to prove that you can do that for me first. So, this is a Voronoi diagram is just created by making a bunch of perpendicular bisectors. For example, everything that is to the left of this line is closer to C. So the only thing that I need left is what is closest. I'm like, what's close to C, right? Well, if I'm down here, I'm closer to G, so I need a new intersection. I need a perpendicular bisector between G and C. And you can see that this point now represents kind of it's a critical point where, I can redo that. See how it's a blue point that's not on the intersection? If I actually click on the right point, now it's a gray point. So this point now represents, hey, everything to the left and up in this area is C. So the easiest way to organize everything is make sure that lines are the things that are going to be hidden, and rays and line segments are the things that are going to stay behind. So I'll show what I mean by that in a sec. So if you come down here to ray, this line will go on and on forever, and you'll see that there's no point up there to have a new intersection. Same thing with the line over here to the left. That will be a ray. It will go on forever and ever. And then you just keep going. So notice that this intersection is kind of critical too. This is the point where it's kind of on D, where between D and E, this line right here is the perpendicular bisector, and this line was the perpendicular bisector between G and F. So I guess I don't care about the intersection. Maybe I want to hide that line so I don't get confused ever again. So go over here to hide object, and let's hide, I don't want to hide the ray, I want to hide just the line. There we go. And come back here to move tool. Okay, I don't want to use that line ever again. So between D and E, what else is close to D? C is close. Looks like the next closest thing is E. So let's just do, I'm trying to figure out what else is close to D. I think we're good. Okay, the next thing, like if I'm right here, like this pie slice, I don't know, this slice looks okay, but look, G is getting too close. Like once I'm here, I'm clearly way too close to G, so that means I need a perpendicular bisector between D and G. So if I come over here to my perpendicular bisector tool between D and G, and you see, oh yeah, okay, now it's cut off the right amount. Do I need one between D and F? Let's try it. D and F? No, because you can see that would be below this little area that I have. So I don't need between D and F. What about D and E? I already have that one. All right, so I have everything that I need. That's just a random point. Don't have to worry about that. So what that means is this is the new slice. Notice that these 2 points between I and whatever point that I'm going to make over here, that is going to be part of this boundary. So this line is going to be not a ray, but a line segment. So come down here to a line segment between I and L. And then I'm just going to do a ray that goes out to the top right forever. So a ray from L to, I don't know, some random point on the line. And I don't need some of these points, so I'm going to come here to move this line right here. I don't really need anymore. I can always come back and get it again if I need to, but let's go here and hide. Is there any other? Maybe I can hide all of these things that I don't really need. You can kind of see this start taking form now if I come back to my new move tool. I already have my boundaries out here. I guess I don't need this line either, do I? So come back over here, hide that line. Yeah, check it out. I already have a partial Voronoi diagram where I guess I can hide K as well, because I don't really need K here. Hold on. I'm just being very nitpicky. K and M I don't need. Those will confuse me, and J will confuse me. Cool, and this looks really, really solid now. Notice that I can't drag around I. If I click and drag, it doesn't work. But if I click and drag C, the Voronoi diagram does change. I'll put it back in the right spot. Same thing with D. It changes really neatly too. So I'll leave D right there. And you just keep doing this over and over, a bunch of intersection of perpendicular bisectors until your entire map is complete. And that is your project.